say, "Silence, miscreant! Our program has begun." Act 1. Invisible Man versus Hawkman. Well, we now present a kind of super contest for you, beloved super listener. Between two ancient superpowers, two of the superpowers which have fascinated humans since antiquity. And actually, this is kind of a super Rorschach test. John Hodgman has been conducting an unscientific survey, posing for people a very simple choice.
Flight versus invisibility. This question is only for you. Whichever you pick, you'll be the only person in the world to have that particular superpower. You can't have both. Which do you choose? I started wondering about this a few years ago. I'd bring it up at parties, dinners, wedding receptions. It was more interesting to ask them where people worked or where they went to school, and clearly more fun to answer. Like a magic word, Shazam, flight versus invisibility would instantly change an evening's character, opening passionate conversation and debate. But what surprised me more was how quickly everyone would choose, as though they had been thinking about it for a long time. Everyone knew exactly which superpower they wanted and what they would do with it. Their plans weren't always flashy or heroic. In fact, they almost never were.
If I could fly the first... First thing I would do is fly into the bar, check out what's going on there, fly back home. I would attach my baby to me and fly to a doctor's appointment at 11:30. Fly right back. Then I think I would fly to Atlantic City.
I go into Barney's, I pick out the cashmere sweaters that I like. I go into the dressing room, the woman says how many items, I say 5. I go into the dressing room, I put those 5 sweaters on, and I summon my powers of invisibility into the dressing room. I turn invisible, I walk out, leaving her to wonder why there's a tag hanging from the door that says 5 and no person inside.
So you would become a thief pretty quickly.
Immediately. Until I had all the sweaters that I wanted, and then I would have to think of other things to do.
Typically, this is how it goes. People who turn invisible will sneak into the movies or onto airplanes. People who fly stop taking the bus. Here's one thing that pretty much no one ever says. I would use my power to fight crime. No one seems to care about crime.
I don't think I would want to. Spend a lot of time using my power for good. I mean, if I don't have super strength and I'm not invulnerable, then, it would be very dangerous. If you had to rescue somebody from a burning building or something like that, you might, catch on fire.
Just having flight, I don't think is necessarily quite enough because you don't have the super strength.
I'd still be weak when I got there, I guess. I don't fight crime now, and people without superpowers do, so sure, in theory, yes, but, I'm not what can I do with this? Either one of those, you need a whole package. There's not much you can do with any one thing. I'd go to Paris, I suppose.
That's not being a superhero.
Well, they may, I could be going to Paris, man. That's sort of a superhero.
Going to Paris, man, is not a superhero. And I have to say this drove me crazy a little bit. We are, after all, talking about superpowers. Why not take down organized crime? Bring hope to the hopeless? Swear vengeance on the underworld? If only a little bit. I proposed a variety of sample scenarios along these lines, such as how would you handle a mad genius taking over the Empire State Building, or a group of terrorists hijacking an overseas flight? And what I learned is some people should simply not be fighting crime.
Well, the first thing that occurs to me is I think I would sneak up behind them very low and with a knife that they didn't see and slice their Achilles tendon. Oh, no, I somehow shove a sock in their mouth or something like that so they can't, and wrap some tape around their mouth so that they can't yell out. It might not be a sock. It might just be some napkins or something. I can't keep all this in my head. I'd have to keep a bag full of stuff with me. Knives, socks, tape.